Hi.
Where do you go, mister?
Convention center, please. Do you take credit cards?
No visa, you pay cash.
Okay.
Give visa, I kill you. So, mister, what do you think about Alberta Premier Klein? He is introducing private hospitals, but says it will not mean American-style healthcare for profit. Ralph also said to pay for new healthcare, Albertans should try to get on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Can you believe Ben Johnson tested positive for drugs?
Wow, that's a surprise.
I know, and it was only an eye test. So what do you think about Ontario planning to take away your license if you are in a car chase? Me, I am not worried. You have to have a license first. So I see Prime Minister Kretschmer went to Turkey for a conference on security. It was a big success. He met with over 50 heads of state and did not pepper spray one of them. Not like in Ottawa. Homeless protesters got pepper sprayed by RCMP when they rioted.
Why did they riot?
Well, the last thing you should tell a homeless person is to go home. I don't think that's very nice.
Could you please watch the road, driver?
Call me Dave. What do you think of that ultra-right-wing presidential candidate, Pat Buchanan? Oh, he is all set for the new millennium. He had his computer upgraded so it is Y2KKK compliant. It's a good joke, no? Boy, that Pokemon movie is big with kids, eh? You know what Pokemon is Japanese for?
No, I don't.
Hairless Furby.
That's a good joke.
It's no joke, it's real.
Well, I don't understand that Pokemon craze. I guess it's because Japan has a different culture.
I know exactly what you mean. Sometimes people do not understand me because of my background. I am a Baptist. You pay cash, right?
Oh, yeah.
You pay visa, I kill you. So, what do you think of that CEO of Nortel Company? He says our taxes too high. Hey, I know how to get rid of our high taxes. Give them to CSIS agent. She puts them in the back of her car, drives to Maple Leafs game. They'll be gone by the end of the third period. In Alberta, they are talking about banning car phones while driving. Those things are very dangerous. Hey, you! Put down your car phone. They are a hazard. Hey, some people, eh? What do you think of Carla Homolka maybe getting a day pass? Whoa. That is our court system in a nutshell. They let Carla go free so there will be more room in prison for squeegee kids. You want a bite of my tofu falafel?
No.
It's not very good. Immigrant! I see Canada is going to limit immigration next year. There are too many immigrants coming over here and living off us hard-working Canadians. That reminds me, I have to pick up my welfare check after work. You pay cash, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think about that big boxing match, eh? Lennox Lewis is now champion. It was a good fight. Anytime a match goes the distance and no body parts are bitten off, it's a good fight. Well, here we are. $20. You pay cash, no visa, or I kill you.
Okay. Here. Hey, wait a minute. We're back at my hotel. This isn't the convention center.
I know. Convention center is next door. You can walk from here.
Hi, I'm Taffy, international children's entertainer and award-winning cartoon voice. I've also recorded a new CD. The cat came back, so I had it neutered. But that's not why I'm here today. I am deeply concerned about a report issued by Health Canada saying that light cigarettes are just as bad for you as regular brands. When I heard that, I almost coughed up a lung. Let's face it, nobody should smoke. It's a filthy, disgusting habit. And besides, the government just raised taxes another $1.20 a carton. Anyway, I have written a song to express my concern about this important social issue. Oh, you really shouldn't smoke or take the odd toke, though it makes you kind of mellow. Your fingers will go yellow. It turns your lungs to paste, but helps to slim your waist. And if you smoke in bed, then you could wait up dead. Big solo. tobacco companies can keep their cigarettes and smoke until they croak.
Good evening, Senator Grisby. Your usual, sir?
Please, Davies.
Senator Herkimer not with you this evening, sir?
No, security has him in custody.
Why?
Well, that electric thing he's got in his hearing aid ear, it set off the fire alarms.
Well, why doesn't he just take it off?
Well, then he wouldn't be able to hear the fire alarm.
Senator Grisby, Davis, sorry I'm late. Hearing aid trouble. All sorted out now, though, don't worry.
Can I get you something to drink, Senator Herkimer?
No, I think I'll just have something to drink.
The usual, sir?
No, just make it the usual.
Did you hear? Senator Wackenhut married a 28-year-old.
A woman?
That's the rumor.
But old Wackenhut's got to be 75 if he's a day.
Oh, and she's a looker.
Good Lord. Does he still have to pay her?
Looker.
Maybe he's using that thing that makes you potent. What is it?
A 28-year-old looker.
They say Chrétien's going for a third term.
With hair like his, I'm not surprised.
Term, not perm. And the Mohawks in Kanawaki say they're going to set up offshore banking on their reserve.
A sort of Switzerland on the St. Lawrence.
Good Lord, you mean you could just drive across the bridge from Montreal with a suitcase full of illicit cash deposited and no one would ever know?
Looks like it.
Yes.
But where would this leave Paul Martin?
Probably in the car in front of you.
Well, I see our new Governor General had some nice things to say about Louis Riel.
I think Adrian Clarkson's got a lot of class.
I don't know. I think she looks quite slim. Well, I think I'll go home and see if my good lady wife fancies a romantic evening.
Blow in her ear, I know that works.
What?
I said, show her earrings you bought her in Berks.
No way. I'll blow in her ear. I know that works.
Well, ready for another? You're around, I believe, Senator Herkimer.
What?
You're around, sir.
Fire! Fire!
Folks, this is your captain speaking. We're currently flying by Winnipeg. Passengers are invited to look out the windows if they need a good laugh. Enjoy your flight today, and thank you for choosing Air Canada.
How was your meal, Mr. Schwartz?
Fine.
Oh, can I get you something else? Another cutlet, more escargot, fresh lobster tail?
No, thank you, but it was delicious.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Oh, may I offer you one of our expensive imported liqueurs? Compliments of the captain.
You do know who I am?
You're Jerry Schwartz, the man who tried to merge Canada's two small airlines into one giant bankrupt one.
I guess you've forgiven me for leading that hostile takeover bid for Air Canada.
Oh, of course, Mr. Schwartz. We don't hold grudges at Air Canada.
And it was very nice of your president to give me this lifetime VIP pass.
Mr. Schwartz, our job at Air Canada is to provide our passengers with the absolute best service, even if they happen to be an insensitive, opportunist American Airlines frontman. Dessert? At Cherry's Jubilee, peach melba, a little Belgian chocolate cheesecake.
Oh, this is very civilized, but no thanks.
Oh, pillow, magazine, a little packet of peanuts.
No, thanks.
Well, it certainly has been our honor having you on board today.
Folks, this is your captain speaking. As a special courtesy, our VIP passengers may now deplane.
That's you, Mr. Schwartz. We know you're a very busy man.
Thank you. The service was so wonderful. I hadn't even noticed we'd landed.
Well, bye-bye, and thank you for flying Air Canada.
Folks, this is your captain again. Please put your chair backs in the upright position. We'll be landing in 10 minutes.
As we consider yet another millennium, maybe it's time to consider how far mankind has come to get here. When man first showed up on this planet, he was short, had thick lips, lots of hair, and a sloping head. Looked a lot like the mayor of Toronto. At that time, man was called Australopithecus. How primitive was he? Believe it or not, he had trouble spelling Australopithecus. Finding out that he could lift things, early man lifted up a big stick high in the air and brought it down on the head of another early man. This was the birth of tribalism, which eventually led to ice hockey. Prehistoric hockey led to mankind's first known use of language. The words were, "Ugh off." With the birth of language came questions, such as, "Where can I find a fig leaf that doesn't chafe?" And questions like, "When a woman says a man is acting like a pig, how does the woman know the man is acting?" What is the difference between a man and a pig? Is it that when a pig gets drunk, it doesn't act like a man? Even then, man's questions were impossible to understand. In his frustration, man began pushing around all the other primates, like monkeys, chimpanzees, gibbons, mandrills, baboons. They didn't touch the archbishop. They didn't know he was a primate. As many of us still don't. How did man gain this domination? By inventing his first weapon. A kind of early thong. An ordinary stone placed in the pouch of this weapon and then swung around and released from that pouch was a deadly missile. The size was not important. It was how you used it. So, why did humans surpass the other animals? Why wasn't it an orangutan who invented the toilet bowl cleaner that's shaped like a duck? It was because of man's remarkable imagination. Man's imagination and the way his nose kept his eyes apart were his most attractive attributes. Yet, with all this imagination, humans still had a struggle to feed themselves. It was only 6,000 years ago, a woman named Isis began growing whole crops. They made her a goddess. Today, the best she'd get is deputy minister. So, what does it mean to be a man today? Exactly. Today, man needs major repairs. Why would anything so perfect need repairing, you ask? Because just a few thousand years ago, a man named Moses was out in the desert barbecuing a bit of manna, and all of a sudden, a bush caught on fire and started talking. One of the things this burning bush said was, "Man shall have dominion over all living things." Unfortunately for all living things, man took the bush seriously. Man didn't know Moses was a ventriloquist. So man began dominating and interfering with all living things, and eventually found a way to insert genes into vegetables like tomatoes to make them stay hard and tasteless permanently. Inserting genes into his vegetables was a big reversal for man. Up till then, to make a big impression on a blind date, man had often inserted a few vegetables into his genes. Yes, mankind has come a long way. When people complain that pesticides are killing our fish, they're told, don't worry about the fish. Biotechnology will find a better way to get that mercury into your diet. How far has mankind come? Believe it or not, several members of the human race are now able to spell Australopithecus. Not only that, we now know the difference between a man and a pig. One likes to grunt and snort and wallow in the dirt. The other has a curly tail.
Watching Wayne Gretzky, you'd never know the great one could have common arthritis. In fact, he's never been diagnosed with it. But he does have a deep throbbing ache like thousands of Canadians over 35. Some early signs, stiffness and pain from carrying an empty big wallet. What are your symptoms, Wayne?
Stiffness and pain, especially after carrying a big empty wallet.
Well, what do you take for your financial pain?
I take a lucrative endorsement deal from Tylenol. Accountant's orders.
It's not surprising, because lucrative endorsements is the #1 choice of retired money-hungry athletes and their business managers for relieving that aching empty wallet. Lucrative endorsements, recommended by 9 out of 10 Hall of Famers who can't live without making tons of money.
Hello, I'm Bill Gates, the richest man in the world with the cheapest haircut. Ever wonder what it's like to own a humongous corporation worth over $447 billion? Well, now you can with my exciting new board game, Microsoft Monopoly. Now you too can experience the joy of buying people and crushing competition just like I do. Just roll the binary dice and move your player piece, which is in the shape of a boot to make it easier to stomp on the little people who get in your way. When you land on a property, you buy it and put up a house, but it has to have windows. When other players land on your property, they must pay rent. How much can you charge? Whatever you want. It's a monopoly. A monopoly is a beautiful thing. You may also land on Take a Chance. Go directly to Apple Computer, buy them and crush them. Collect $100 million. Get out of antitrust jail free. I'll keep this one for later just in case. You can land on any number of properties. Bills Boulevard, Nerd Street, Windows Place, Gates Walk, Redmond Railroad, Four Eyes Lane, Reedy Bugger Avenue, and Netscape. But since somebody else owns Netscape, you just buy up the properties on either side and squeeze. Microsoft Monopoly is fun for the whole family. You'll have hours of enjoyment crushing them and bullying them into bankruptcy. You might even land on community chests. This is your lucky day. Collect $2, then use it for haircut. I love this game. So buy Microsoft Monopoly version 2.1. It won't be outmoded until tomorrow when you'll have to buy the 2.2 upgrade. At Microsoft, we put the trust in antitrust.
And now the Scot with a temper that's hot. It's Jock McBile with Get Stuck.
What a couple of weeks it's been. Jean Chrétien in Africa at the Commonwealth Summit, sitting there surrounded by arrogant national leaders with poor records on human rights and shady personal business deals. And he fit right in. In September, Chrétien opened a new armory in his home riding of Shawinigan. It cost $15 million. He announced the plan to build the armory just 3 weeks before the '97 federal elections. Chrétien won the seat by 1,500 votes. 1,500 votes, $15 million armory. That's $10,000 a vote. Come on, Jean, you can buy votes cheaper than that. In Alberta, they banned riding in the back of a pickup truck. Giving Ralph Klein's friends a hell of a problem. How are they going to get him home after a bender when he's getting too fat to fit into a car? Montreal is taking a lot of heat for its needs de pool. That's potholes to you. But the city is turning it into a positive. If your car disappears down a pothole, they charge you for underground parking. At the Lausanne Tattoo Convention in Switzerland, it was revealed that old-time tattoos are giving way to those of skulls, dragons, and roaring bears, even on private parts. Gives a whole new meaning to the phrase bare-assed. Donald Trump has a plan to eliminate the U.S. national debt, a one-time 14.25% tax on everyone's total wealth. But it wouldn't have worked in Canada. Our taxes have made sure there's no wealth left to tax. But one thing we've got going for us, our prescription drugs. In some cases, they're 1/10 what you pay in the States, and Americans are flooding over the border to buy them. What a switch! We go down there for cheap gas. They come up here for a cheap way of getting rid of gas. Did you see the report? Canadians are working longer and harder than ever, and it's affecting our health. So that means our overstretched medical system is going to be further strained by people who are sick from working their butts off to pay the taxes for health care. Talk about going in ever-decreasing circles till you disappear up your own deficit. Oh,